Greetings, Timeshare Travelers. Today is episode 33 from the Timeshare Traveler, how I earned 71 free hotel nights in 2021. Okay, I admit it, this was obsessional, and I really set myself out to see what I could do. And I'm going to share what I did with you guys. And I'm not expecting anyone to try to accomplish what I did, but my goal is that you'll at least see a few things that you could try so you can earn some free nights along the way. So with that said, I'm going to jump into details, but before I do, I'll tell you a little bit about my YouTube channel. Hope you can subscribe, and then I'll jump into the details. Hi, this is Cliff, and I'm your Timeshare Traveler. The goal of my YouTube channel is improving your timeshare travels. I'll do this through timeshare video reviews, tips for using timeshares, and much, much more. I can be found on Facebook at Timeshare Trav, Twitter at Timeshare Trav, and on the web at www.timesharetraveler.com. And if you like my videos, don't forget to click subscribe below. Okay, now I'm going to go through the sort of summary high level, and then I'll go through each in detail. So 2021 actuals, I had 71 nights. It's broken down: 41 free nights in Hilton, 22 Worldmark / Wyndham, and 8 in Marriott. And the way I did this is I own timeshares in those three companies, and I leverage their hotel credit cards. I also attend timeshare presentations this year, and again, trying to make whatever I could. There was never a timeshare presentation that wasn't worth attending. Don't recommend what I did, but it was a good exercise, and hopefully you guys will learn from that. My original estimate, I did a blog post, and I'll put the link to it in the description, plus I did a 6-month update. I'll put those in the description. So if you want to look at the original estimate, which was that I would have 29 days, and that was based on estimating 14 days with Hilton, 8 days with Wyndham / Worldmark, and 7 nights with Marriott. So you can see that I got really close on Marriott and way exceeded both Worldmark and Hilton. So let me now go through each one of those, Hilton, Worldmark, and Marriott, to show you how I got the details. And then hopefully on that level, you'll be able to see how you could potentially choose how to do the same thing that I did, and maybe not to the ridiculously obsessive levels, but you can get a good level for yourself. Okay, now I'm going to go through the details on Hilton. And again, my plan for the year was to get 14 points, and that was 1 point because I had the credit card, and 13 free nights from points. And to give you an example, I stayed at the Homewood Suites in Galveston, and I had 5 nights for 84,000 points, and that's because you get 1 night free after you stay 4. So it was 21,000 points a night. So that's kind of the number I used. I didn't do an exact figure, but that's what I did to sort of calculate how many free nights I got. So again, and the credit card gives me the 1 free night, and I've used that to stay in a $1,000 a night place. It's places I'd never do if I had to pay for it, but because I got the card, it was kind of a splurging type thing. So I ended up with 41 nights, and I earned 750,000 points for the year in 21. I attended 5 presentations for 250,000 points. That equates to about 11 nights. I got the free night, as I mentioned, because of the credit card. I paid my maintenance fees with the credit card, and it's got 14 points per dollar, so I had 64,000 points, which is about 4 nights. I did an upgrade, and it's the only timeshare upgrade I did, and I got to Elite Plus, which is a great thing in the Hilton program. And so I used my credit card to actually pay for it. And if you're going to buy, I would recommend you use the credit card because I got 300,000 points, which is good for basically 2 weeks in a hotel. And then my general credit card spend was about 14,000 on the card, which turns into 150,000 points when you include all the promotions, and if I paid for a night off at a hotel. So that was another 10 nights. So that's how you end up with 41 nights at Hilton properties. And again, this is a bit obsessive, but you can sort of see the different ways you do that because I have timeshares, but you can attend timeshare presentations even if you're not an owner. You may not get quite as many points as I do, but it's still a way to get yourself free hotel stays. And that's it for Hilton. I'll go to the next one. Okay, for my next hotel chain, it's the Wyndham, which I own the Worldmark timeshare, and Worldmark is owned by Wyndham. There's also Wyndham Timeshares, but I own WorldMark. So my plan was to get 8 nights in a one-bedroom timeshare. So one thing great about the Wyndham plan is for 15,000 points, you can get a one-night stay in a one-bedroom timeshare. So I've used that to spend a week in New Orleans, and I'm actually planning to use it for about a week in Hawaii. So I'm able to get availability, so I'm using the points. So for 2021, I actually ended up with 22 nights, and I'm now I use the credit card, and that mostly was paying maintenance, but I used it other things like when you rent. Sometimes you have like Hawaii charges a fee for staying, and so that went onto the credit card as well. So I got 45,000 points roughly for the year, which is 3 nights using the credit card. So it gives me 5 points per dollar that I get. And then I attended every presentation. Anybody invited me, I did it. So I ended up with 12, which is one a month. And I ended up with 285,000 points. And I did that every time they offered me X number. I asked for twice that, and sometimes I got somewhere in the middle. And so I ended up with 19 nights by attending presentations. And again, for me, I actually like the Wyndham / WorldMark the best because you actually can stay in the timeshares. Again, you're not going to get all the best locations, but hey, I got Hawaii, I got New Orleans. Maybe it wasn't in the Mardi Gras week, but I was able to get it and travel with my son and have a one bedroom and have a kitchen so we could make breakfast, and we might eat dinner out sometimes, but mostly we stayed in. So again, Wyndham was a great deal for me, and that's how I got 22 nights there. Let me go on to the next one. Last but not least, it's Marriott, and my plan there was to do 7 nights, and I was going to do 2 credit cards. I have 2 credit cards, so I get one night, free night for each credit card, and then maintenance fees, attend 2 presentations, and use the credit cards. So what actually happened in 2021 is I ended up with 8 nights, not 7. So I got the same 2 free nights from the credit card, so that was the same. And I got 67,000 points for attending presentations. I actually attended 3 of them. I own both Vistana and Marriott, so I had a presentation with Vistana and then another one with Marriott, and did that a total of 3. So that worked out 67,000 points for 4 nights. And then I used the account to purchase points. I have the credit cards get as high as 6 points per dollar, and so I was able to get that, plus paying my maintenance fees whenever I got the points for that. That's how I ended up with 8 nights at Marriott. And again, Marriott, one of the nice things if you do get the points is you can actually stay at the timeshares, usually just the studios, but still you get the huge pools that you find at locations. I've used them to stay in Palm Springs. I think that's the main place I've stayed with them, but you can periodically book at that. And they've also recently started allowing, they have homes by Marriott, so you can use your points to rent homes even on the beach that are sort of like an Airbnb type thing. Anyway, that's how I ended up with an obsessive 71 nights. Again, my goal is for you guys to pick out what works for you, not necessarily be like I was and try everything, but hopefully you can learn what works for you. And if you like this channel, please be sure to subscribe. Happy traveling and having a great year.